Alright, hi. When I was younger, I made a lot of stupid decisions, and often the wrong ones. We were getting bored with just playing tag on any given road. We wanted to really up the level. So when I was younger, we actually started playing tag on these. So where I grew up, there's a train station about maybe a 5-minute walk from all of our houses. And we would grab the sides, climb up top. We'd be running, chasing people. And like, we would do this pretty consistently. Then we started getting into like paintball and some other games. And we'd start like, you know, shooting each other on the trains like cops and robbers, and like boo, 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 shoot out on the train like we were reenacting these great action movies. We did not get permission to go on top of the train to show you that today, unfortunately. But I remember this one time we were coming here and someone was like, I just have a really bad feeling. I don't really want to do this. And we all ended up peer pressuring this other person into jumping on the train. And then the next week happened, and then we're like, yeah, you know what? This is wrong. This doesn't feel right. We know what we're not supposed to do. We're old enough now to know like how dangerous and stupid this is. And just because we have been doing it before doesn't mean that we should continue doing it. There was enough people that were peer pressuring us, and we chose, okay, you know what? Yeah, we're going to do it again. And we started doing it this time. But guess what happened? This time the train started to move. And then like my friends started jumping off left, boo, 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 boo. They jumped off, they jumped off, they jumped off. Now the train's building up speed. The guy's like honking, and he's like flipping us off, like, you stupid kids, why were you hiding on my train? And now I'm petrified. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I'm hanging on the train, and it's going like 40 kilometers an hour, it felt like, and I'm just hanging off the side of the train, and it's speeding, barreling down the road, and I'm like, fine, I finally have to do it. And I leaped off, landed, and I rolled this like crazy battle roll in the ground. And I stand up and I start running, and the train stops. And I'm like, oh no, we're in so much trouble. And the guy's like, come here, come here, come here. And then we walk back up to the train, and it just stops. And we're sitting there, we're like, we don't know what to do. And then one of our friends is like, let's just jump on the train again. So we're like, okay. And then it was like, we jumped, and as soon as we touched the metal, the guy blew his horn, and we just launched off like a good like 20 feet in the opposite direction. And then the conductor got out, and he's like, what are you kids doing? Do you not realize how dangerous trains are? And we're like, well, yeah, but like, we're invincible. What are you talking about? And he invited me in to his caboose, into the head of the train. So finally I fessed up to him. I was like, yes, it was me. And then he invited me on to his engine room, or the caboose. On these trains, it's kind of the same thing. And he gave me a bit of water, and he let me know his side of the story on why he doesn't like people playing on the trains, and some of the horrific stories on things and accidents that he personally saw. And here's this nameless authority, angry figure that I thought was going to punish me, arrest me, but I screwed up. I did the right thing, and I chose to listen to him. And he got to tell me these really powerful messages, and I got to hear him, and I got to see him more than just a person, but as somebody that was doing a job that was more difficult and more dangerous than I ever imagined. And he showed me compassion and mercy and forgiveness. That was the last time that we ever played tag on the trains. But I gained a whole new respect for the people in these things. I gained a whole new respect for the driver. And at that time, yeah, he had every right to just drop the rules and just lay me with a ton of different fines, a ton of different things. Brought my mom into it, sued us. He could have bankrupted us more than we were already bankrupt. but he didn't. He showed mercy and love, and he did a right, loving, compassionate thing. So when it comes to God, sometimes, yeah, we screw up and we got to confess our sins. Like, God, I did this wrong choice. But righteousness is making that right choice. And yes, it would have been better to not play on the trains. That would have been a more righteous choice. But at the end of the day, all my friends ran away. And I stood there and I owned it. That's also a righteous choice, to own up to what the mistakes that you've made. And then go to the authority figure, if you will, and say, hey, I screwed up. In this case, it was the conductor. And I went up to the conductor and I was like, yeah, I screwed up. And he got to share. He got to show that compassion. When you go to God, when you realize that you've made a mistake, that you've not made that righteous choice, when you know that you've done something against God, against a family member, against a friend, against a stranger, you can go to God. You can go, God, I screwed up. I sinned. I fell short. But choosing to do the right thing in the midst of mistakes, in my opinion, is one of the most righteous things that you can do. And I learned that lesson long ago from playing cowboys on top of trains and getting to meet someone that I thought was gonna really punish me bad.